Hi everyone, I am Laia Manatad from the SSW 3rd year Alpha. So this video is I will going to discuss or give my opinion regarding the activities that our teacher has given to us, which is choose to the three authors and then explain their principles. So I choose the principle of the different authors. So these principles, their principles have uh, 13, 13 principles or 13 members. So first is the principles of social work values. That means values of the profession are the foundation upon which service are developed and made available to persons who need them. Central to this, belief in this dignity and worth of all people and in their right to participate in making decisions. So this means that, based on my understanding, this means that as a worker, so, diba, usually, we have to follow certain values. So, the principal values of this author is that you must respect uh, the dignity and worth of all uh, people. So, in terms that they have the right for their decision making, like that. So next is the principle of human needs. So basis for determining the provisions of programs and services. So this one is you must have the basis. You must have to determine the what provisions and programs and services you must serve or give. And then number 3 is principle of cultural setting. So, to understand the individual member better, his/her background, including the community of his origin, should be understood. So, in the third part of the principles of social group work by the different authors, so this means that you should understand your the individual member, so your coworker. You should understand from not only his physical but also about his or her environment. So number 4 is principle of planned group formation. Conscious design and plan for the group which must contain the potential for growth of members. So consider the size of the group, bearing in mind that the kind of problems, goals, and objectives take into account to the age of members. So, di ba, as a group, you should have design plan or even kanang bitaw mga objectives, di ba? Na jud na as a group na jud mo dapat mga objectives in order for you to kanang bitaw to example. So, if one of your members has a problem or something like an error, so you should have that objective in order for you to uh, what in to take into the account. So remember, consider the size of the group, bearing in mind that kind of problems, goals, and objectives. Number 5 is principles of specific objectives. So this means recognizing the need for consciously determining the specific results for individual and group to become purposeful rather than focus. So therefore, excuse me, therefore, in these principles, you should have to recognize, there is need to recognize and determine the specific results for individual and group in order for you your work has a purposeful rather than focus. Okay, so number 6 is principle of purposeful worker group relationship. Based on workers' acceptance of the group as they are and upon group willingness to accept help. So this one is, based on my understanding, is each of you must accept your co-workers or something, your colleague, like that. And then, and there should be a willingness to accept help. So not just because you are the smartest, you don't need help for others. That's why we called it group work, because you need to work as a group. Okay, so number 7 is principle of continuous individualization. So recognize that groups are different and that individuals utilizes group experiences in a variety of ways. Okay, so this one is okay. So this one is recognize that groups are different, and so, di ba, usually makuha nyo na to, groups are different, like lahi yun siya if you are doing your work individually. So therefore, individuals utilizes group experiences in a variety of ways. Next is number 8, principle of guided group formation. Harnessing direction and conscious utilization of natural social process of interaction. So, role of worker is to influence the type and degree of interaction, convert the social process into group work process. Okay, so this one, in this principle, there should be a guided group formation. So, in order for your work or for your group nga, di ba, mas better gyud ang work og naay kay giguidean, or you have the formation that nga gi-follow. Okay, so number 9 is principle of democratic self-determination. Group must be helped to make its own decision and determine its own activities, taking the maximum amount of responsibility in line with its capacity and ability. Excuse me. And then, an ability. The primary source of control over the group is the group itself. Okay, so group must be helped to make its own decision and determination in its own activities, taking the maximum amount of responsibility in line with its capacity. So, of course, as a, di ba, we have, as a group, we have the different works, but then our main objective or main goal is one. So you have that self-determination in order for you and your group to achieve your goal. Okay, so number 10 is principle of flexible functional organization. Formal organization of the group should be adaptive and should change as the group change. So this one is the principle of flexible functional organization is that formal organization of the group should be adaptive. So you must know how to adapt change, diba? Adaptable. And then also and should change as the group change. So bear in mind that there are situations or scenario that there are kanang instances gyud nga dili siya malikayan nga naay kakulian sa ana. So you must be adaptable. And then next is principle of progressive program experience. Program experiences should begin at the level of members' interest, needs, experiences, and competence, and should progress in relation to the developing capacity of the group. So this one, principle of progressive program experience should begin at the level of members' interest. Of course, if you want that kind of experience, so it depends on you. It depends on the members if they have the interest to do that programs like that, or they have that competency in themselves and should progress in relation to the developing capacity of the group. Next is principle of resource utilization. Group work process that encourage utilization resources within the agency and community to enrich content of group experience. So, of course, as principle of resource utilization, so there should be kanang group work process that encourage you as the group worker. You should encourage to utilize resources within the agency and committee to enrich the content of group experience. And then number 13, last, principle of evaluation. Evaluating the process of attaining goals and objectives and its outcome is a standard operating procedure. So this one is usually this is the last part, di ba? Especially sa mga mga case study na ang evaluation, which is dala niyo makita og unsa ang outcome at inyong goal, and then what should be your possible changes that you will make after you are observing your goal, di ba? So dera man makita sa evaluation. Okay, I think that would be all, and thank you and God bless. Good evening.